Right, you're welcome to this part of the class. And before we get started, there are some packages that you need to install. We'll be looking at working with Python together with Postgres. And basically, the packages that we're going to be installing is you have to ensure that you have Python installed in your system. And you also need to install what is called the Jupyter Notebook. Now, I've downloaded the software and we're about installing it. So make sure you installed it. If you already have this software installed in your system, ensure that you skip this part of the class. So please forward it to the next lesson. So this session is going to be showing you how to install the Anaconda package in your system. Now, first and foremost, you have to run it and click on next. So we agree to the agreement. We have for all users, which require some admin privileges, but I want to install it for my system, like for personal use. So, and this is recommended. Click on next. Now we have a directory. This is a space available, and then we have this. So let's install it to this destination folder. Next. Then it says register Anaconda as my default Python. This is this. So it's recommended. Um, yeah, we just click on install. And your system it may take slower process. This is because the speed of our system may be kind of different. So ensure that you allow your installation to be completed before you close the installation dialog box. So we have the installation complete right now. So I'll click on next, and it says launch Anaconda Navigator. So let's click on finish. So this is the first interface you come to whenever you launch the Anaconda Navigator software. So we'll be working with the Jupyter Notebook. So we have the different packages or different applications that came with the software. Now, this is a notebook which is called the Jupyter Notebook. It's a web-based and interactive computing notebook environment which we can use to edit, and then we run human readable documents while describing our data analysis. So most of the data analysis using Python, you'll be writing them with the Jupyter Notebook. Now we also have some other ones, but let's quickly launch this. So by clicking on launch, and once you click on launch, it's going to open with your default browser. So now once we launch the Jupyter Notebook, our default browser will have access to this directory. And we can see here we have access to the document, downloads, and different folders in our system, even including the videos. Now what we will do for the sake of this project, we'll be looking inside the document folder. And now once we open our document folder, let's quickly get back. Let's quickly get back here. So this is the document folder. So once we open the document folder, what we basically be doing is that we want to create a new folder. So we create a new folder inside this document, and we like to give it a name, SQL. So let's give it this name, SQL. So right now we can open these SQL files, and then we can create a new file by going to new and then creating a new notebook. So once we launch a new notebook, if you have Python already installed in your system, click on select. If you have Python already installed in your system, here you can begin to write some Python queries. So we can define a function here. So we can even write something like a equals 3, all right, b equals to 4, and then print a plus b plus b. So let's see if we have Python installed. So if we run this query, we have a equals 3. So let's say this is b. So a plus b should be giving us 7. Now this is because we already have Python installed. So if you don't have Python installed, you can head over to Python install. You can install it from Google by going to the official website, download Python. Then we pick the version of if it's Windows, so we have the button here, download Python 3. So this is the latest version of Python. If you are looking for a different operating system, maybe Mac or Linux, you can choose from here. So automatically it's downloading the latest version because I'm using Windows. So that's why we can see Python for Windows here. So you download it and then we follow the process to install it. Now, I believe you already have a knowledge of Python, all right, and you have Python installed in your system. So now we have tested that we have Python because it's Python code and we have our query. So let me delete that cell. Now for us to um, write Python, to connect our PostgreSQL using Python, we have to install some package. So I'm going to be explaining to you how to install the package and then the different packages that you need to install. And then we are going to be using the pgadmin from the database that we created. We have some databases here. We have the learning database. We have here the DVT rental. So these are the databases that I created myself. And using Python, we're going to be installing a package that will help us connect to any of these databases. So in your case, you may have maybe the DVD rentals, or maybe there are some databases that you created all by yourself if you properly follow the classes that we had. Now, I'll be picking one of them. That's going to be in the next class, in the next lecture. I don't want to make this video longer. So I'll pick one of the databases and then we'll be installing the package. Then using the Python language, we write codes that will connect to our database and we can use this software. All right, the Jupyter notebook, we're writing everything here, we connect it, and then we can filter and fetch or write code that will pull out information from our database. So thank you so much for joining me, and I expect to see you in our next class.